Smokefall takes an almost magical look at how family, love, and what we pass on generation to generation can affect people's relationships. We're here at the press day for the new MCC theater play where we'll be talking with the cast and creators, so get ready for a great night behind the velvet rope. The play takes such a unique look at family and really how love can help us overcome pretty much everything in life. It's like we're only here for 5 minutes, so we might as well love, right?
Yeah,
That's really
for
what it
sure.
focuses on.
It does. I mean, it's a little more complicated than that in terms of how it explores what we inherit from our families and what we ultimately have no choice in inheriting, the things that we carry with us from generations past and the things that we pass to generations future, and how as beautiful as those things can be, they can also be inordinately painful and really challenging. And so it does also look at the idea of, can we change? Are we able to outrun those aspects of our lineage that might not serve us in this iteration or in this life? So yes, ultimately I think it does look at love and take that position, that is all we have in the end, but it's not quite so simple or straightforward. There's a lot of cyclical nature to this play and a lot of evolution that maybe doesn't appear to be as complex as it actually is in the end.
Talk to me about playing a mother and this family dynamic that goes on in this play, because it is all about love and how love can help you overcome tragedy.
I love the character. I think that she sort of embodies the theme of the play, which is, the greatest act of courage is to love, and the idea that if that turns out less than ideal and breaks you, would you do it again? And she would. And I think she's this really sort of optimistic, beautiful character who's not she's in denial. She's got her, I don't think she'd be the easiest person to talk problems out with. But I think it's also very indicative of the time. It's sort of like this vague 50s, 60s piece where people didn't talk about it and men generally didn't leave. I think from today's standpoint, 50% of marriages end in divorce, like men leave. It's not like this big tragic family thing, but in those days it really was. Like to come from a broken home and the stigma that left on the woman, and like women weren't prepared to go out and work, and we've come a long way, but that wasn't an option for this woman, and she really felt abandoned and broken down.
What made you want to get involved with this story?
Well, first of all, I've never done theater before, so I wanted to try that. This is my first play. Noah Heidel is such a great writer, and Anne Kaufman, she's just an incredible director, and the actors are just so great. So that drew me to the project, and then the play is just so beautiful. And the words, it's so much fun every day to rehearse and act and say the lines.
Talk to me about being part of it here in New York.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be part of it. I've always loved Anne's work and Kaufman's work, and the play, when I read it, it's one of those plays where you read it and you think, wait, what is this play about? And I can't wait to dive into it. I think it's a wonderful play about a very odd world that might be recognizable, might not be recognizable to a lot of people, but has a wonderful sense of grace and understanding and compassion for anyone who has ever been part of a family.
Well, it's been great so far. It was a play that I really loved when I read it and wanted to be a part of, so I was thrilled that they asked me to do it. I had done Noah's other play, Mr. Marmalade, here about 9 years ago, and so I was familiar with his writing, and it's just, it's an amazing group of actors and great director, and it's great to see him again. So it's been fun so far, and I think that the fact that Noah and Anne have done the play before in a couple other cities, they really know the play, they know these people, and so it's there's just immediate trust in the room.
The reception this thing got in Chicago was terrific. I can't wait to see it in New York. You've got to be excited.
I'm very, very excited. I mean, I was just saying that, we've done this play now 3 times. This is our 3rd time doing it. So we've had 3 different casts, and the play is this particular play sort of formulates itself and its meaning around the personalities of the cast. So that's why it's been really important to have brand new casts each time, because the flavor of it and its resonance is reliant on the personalities that are inside of it. So it's going to be a very different thing with this particular cast.
I was talking to Ann about this, and first of all, you have a terrific cast here in New
Yeah.
York, but it's not the 3rd production you guys
Yeah.
have done. Each time you've used a different cast.
Sure.
Tell me about, do you walk into each production and look for different elements? Do you say,
Oh, sure.
all right, I want this cast to bring this certain quality while the other cast brought another quality?
Well, you got to let it happen. I mean, you can't force that stuff. By casting the people that we've cast, they will, bring their natural joie de vivre. But you have to reimagine. It's not trying to recreate. We got to pretend it's a totally new thing. Because if you have the hangover of how other people have done it, then it's not going to be fun. Like, oh, they got that joke, or they read it that way. So if that's in your head, you got to forget it all. And for me personally, since I'm a living playwright, I like to write stuff particular for the specific company I have. And so, like for instance, Julia, her mom in Israel back in the day was in a sketch comedy group. So
random.
Right. And so just a little line is in a long speech she has. She said, "I spent a couple seasons in a sketch comedy group in Tel Aviv," which no one would know, doesn't matter at all, but it's just her, because of her. And people have different vocal inflections and idiosyncrasies, so I try and help them with the lines to make it sound more natural.